All right, so we're doing another sensitive topic episode.
We're going to touch on domestic abuse.
And we are joking about two people who abused each other, which is not right. We're not making jokes about the abuse, just that they shouldn't have done it.
Which you've already seen by the title is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yes.
And we do make fun of them quite a bit.
Because
and
they
their
deserve
actions.
it. Because nobody should act like that. But we do take domestic violence very seriously. And so we just want to make sure that people know that there is a hotline that you can reach out. It's National Domestic Violence Hotline. They have an 800 number, 800-799-7233. They have a text message that you can send to 88788. You can chat online, and they have an official website. So if this is something that you are suffering from, there are ways to get help for it. So it is something that we take very seriously. Welcome to Let's Talk Petty. We're not petty, but we talk about all the petty.
Every single petty there is, we talk about it right now in the next 60 minutes.
No, but on the episodes,
That's
I'm
what you
Kate.
just said. I'm Andrew. I'm always bringing you down.
Yeah, you Debbie Downer.
That's my nickname.
All right, so our episode. I cannot wait. I am so excited.
I what?
You don't know anything about it.
As per usual.
No, sometimes you half know, or you at least know what we're talking about. So we are talking about something that's been on the news a lot. And it just ended in the beginning of June, but not really because it's still going.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard.
You're right. I know nothing about it.
I know you don't. And that's why I'm so excited, because there's just so much, but we're going to do it a little different because I have no choice.
And that is?
You are going to have to watch at least some of the plethora of videos that came out of this.
You want to know how many minutes of this trial that I've watched?
I'm going to say 0.
Absolutely 100% correct. 0 minutes. I don't
And
even know who the girl is.
that was going to be my next question.
I have no idea who she is. I couldn't tell you what she's in. I think she's an actress.
She is an actress.
No idea about her.
All right, well, let's start with Johnny Depp then. What do you know of Johnny Depp?
Well, he was in the Pirates of Caribbean movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was way back when we were younger, I think is when he really got his start. Like back in the 80s, I think.
Mm-hmm. What role from then do you think he's like the most famous for? What do you know him the most from?
I can't remember the name of it. That show that had a remake of it.
No.
Some teen 21 Jump Street.
Nope, not that.
But wasn't that?
Come on,
Wasn't he in that
I think so. But what movie is he in that you would know him from the most?
From back then?
Yeah.
I mean, he's most famous for Pirates of the Caribbean, I would think.
For now, right now, yeah.
Probably Edward Scissorhands. Was that him?
Yes, that was him.
I know a little bit about him.
Yes, he was in 21 Jump Street.
I think that's where he got his start.
That was in 1987.
Right. Look at me with all the Depp facts.
You are such a huge Depp fan.
Funny enough, I just started a website, deppfacts.com.
What are the odds?
I just spew knowledge about Johnny Depp all day. I update it multiple times a day.
So
with all the new facts that I remember.
That's what you're always clicking away on.
Clickety clacking. JohnnyDeppFacts.com. I just changed the name of it.
All right. Well, do you know how old he is?
He's probably in his 50s.
Mm-hmm.
57.
Close. He is 59. So you know enough about him. And you remember he was in Willy Wonka, the remake.
I didn't like the remake, so I couldn't tell you if he was in it or not.
Oh, well, he was. He did a really good job.
Who was he?
Willy Wonka.
That's right. That's how little I cared for that movie.
Mm.
I'm a huge Wonka fan.
All right. Well, what? Okay, so she is an actress. So now we're going to move on to Amber Heard.
Mm-hmm.
She was in something recently.
Probably, if she was an actress, yeah, she probably
she was in
something
something recently that I feel like I think you saw it. I know you're not usually.
You want to know everything that I know about her?
I guess it's nothing.
Her first name is Amber,
Mm-hmm.
and her last name is Heard.
Wow. She was in Aquaman. She played the redhead. I
remember it wasn't a great movie. I didn't like it.
We both just said very opposite things.
We did. I don't remember her in it. I just didn't really care for the movie, so I probably wasn't paying attention as much.
Probably. Well, yeah, so she was in that. Obviously not as famous as Johnny Depp. And how old do you think she is?
Considering I know nothing about her.
Just take a guess.
Knowing the type of person Johnny Depp is, I'm going to say 32.
Close. She is now 36.
She could be sitting right here across the table from me. I wouldn't know who it was.
That's because you have not been paying attention.
I have not.
To all the ridiculousness. So my title is Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, a mega pint of petty ridiculousness.
How do you spell ridiculousness?
Ridiculousness.
Spell it.
Ridiculousness? Okay. Ridiculousness.
So you spelled ridiculousness.
I spelled it right.
Exactly the way you're supposed to, but you're saying it different. You can't do that. You have to spell it different.
Ridiculousness? Ridiculous. That's how you spell it. You just say it.
As
ridiculous.
As a person that got second place in a spelling bee back in middle school, I'm telling you right now, you cannot spell it like that.
All right. So I guess if I was going to spell out ridiculousness, it would be the same in the beginning, but instead of LOUS, it would be LESS. Ridiculousness.
We'll change it.
All right. So there you go. Ridiculousness. All right. So we are going to start this episode right out of the gate with you having to do a little guessing game.
I've already been guessing. This is my third guess of the episode.
And
so
no,
far.
you haven't really been guessing. I guessed their
ages,
but we're okay. I guess we're continuing this.
Guess number 3.
Starting it out crazy today. I'm confident you're going to get this one though. Where do you think these two scorned lovers met?
In a bar in El Paso, Texas.
No, a legit one. Only because you complain about this all the time.
Did they meet on a movie set?
Yes, they did.
So they didn't really love each other.
Nope. So they met on the 2009 set of The Rum Diary.
Never heard of it.
Me either. I had never heard of it. I watched the trailer and it looks terrible. So they were both in relationships already when they started that movie. But in this movie, Depp's character is instantly smitten with Heard's character.
No, he wasn't. He was acting.
Yeah. No, yeah, the character is. But obviously it bled into real life. But according to Heard, they didn't start dating until the end of 2011 or start of 2012.
Which means probably 2 years earlier.
Absolutely.
Claim all you want. We know the truth.
Yes. And I just wanted to, before we even continue, so it doesn't get lost in the whole thing. It's very interesting. So they meet in 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, Heard, I guess, I don't know if she's bisexual. I don't know what it is, but she dates men and women.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2009.
Definition.
She was what?
That would be the definition.
Well, there's so many right now. I can't always keep track. And so I don't want to offend anyone by saying like, oh yeah, she's bisexual when I don't really know. So I'm just saying maybe that's what it is. So In 2009, she was arrested on a charge of physically assaulting her girlfriend at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. So she is accused in this. The charges were dropped. Her girlfriend said, no, it's fine. Nothing happened. So the charges were dropped. But in 2009, when they are, not in a relationship, she gets into this argument with her girlfriend and is accused of physically accosting her.
Accosted.
Yes, she was accosted. So
I don't even know what they went to trial for.
Oh, you're going to find out.
Okay.
So they were married on February 3rd, 2015. And we have another chance for you to guess. Hey, you used to like guessing. You're done with it? Am I making you guess too many times?
Nope, let's go.
You don't have to guess. I can just tell you.
Nope, I'm guessing.
But I want you to guess, how long do you think they stayed married?
3 years.
Wow, you are giving them way more credit than they deserve. No, they made it 15 months. On May 23rd, 2016,
Wait
Heard
a minute.
filed for divorce.
Wait. You're telling me that two people that met on a movie set pretended to be in love on the movie, but it bled over into real life, weren't actually in love with each other?
No.
Whoa.
I know. It's
Revelations
so crazy.
coming out on this podcast.
We've never multiple times talked about that. Ever. Like I always say, it can only end well. And it does. So 4 days after filing for divorce, Hurt also obtained a temporary restraining order saying that Depp had physically abused her while he was under the influence of drugs and or alcohol.
So he abused her.
That's what she claims.
But she's already had a charge of assault against her.
Correct.
Okay. So she would know.
Correct. And this is another little fun side note. After the divorce, guess who Heard started dating?
O.J. Simpson.
No. A real guess.
That was a real guess.
That's a terrible real guess.
I mean, apparently she's into violent people, so
okay.
And violence, and you don't get much more violent than the O.J. Simpson himself.
Yes, well, she did not start dating him, and I'm laughing for a reason.
Woody Harrelson.
No, he's too good for her.
Someone's got a crush on Woody Harrelson.
Crap, my secret's out.
I have no clue.
Elon Musk.
Now that you said that, I think I have heard that before.
Oh, really?
Yes. In reading about and doing my research about Elon Musk, that name did come up.
Well, that's who it was.
And I was thinking to myself, oh, I've heard of her in the news recently. I think she's in a court case. And I just didn't care anymore.
Well, their relationship didn't last very long either.
How many kids does he have with her?
Fortunately, 0.
I know he's got like 40 kids now that all these women are coming out saying they're pregnant with his children.
I can't believe that a billionaire is a weirdo creep. What?
And his dad's married his stepdaughter and has kids with her.
What?
Fun family.
It's a fun family. All right, so Heard claimed that on May 21st, Depp had thrown a phone at her, leaving a bruise on her face.
To be fair, who hasn't thrown a phone at somebody? To be fair.
Well,
if we're being
movie
fair
stars,
here.
With movie stars, it does seem to be, what is with the they always throw their phones at people, like their assistants and stuff like that. Like you always hear claims.
That's why everybody should always have a bucket of confetti next to them.
And that's
when you
what
get
they throw
the urge
instead.
to throw something at someone, just be like, nope, take the bucket of confetti, throw it. Everyone's happy, and then everyone laughs.
Once you see that confetti going, who can stay angry?
Dissolve the situation.
You just can't.
If anybody needs some relationship counseling, I'm available 24 hours a day.
It's perfect. Confetti instead of phones throwing.
It's a good idea for a business now. Just have a little thing you put on your belt, and it's just always there of confetti. You can just reach your hand in. Just chuck confetti at someone when you get mad at them.
So what you need to do is, instead of the chalk that climbers have on, that you
exactly
can have,
like that with confetti in it.
You'll have a pouch and it's confetti instead of chalk. It's perfect. What a great idea.
Thank you.
The world will be covered in confetti.
And we'll all have fun.
We would hope.
It'll be a fun time.
It would be great. All right. So when the police arrive, though, they look into this claim and they found that no crime had occurred. So.
Couldn't you just tell if she had a bruise on her face in the shape of a cell phone?
That's what you would think.
Wait, you don't have a big
controversy.
Black and blue rectangle on your face? Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yes.
Assuming that it hit her square in the face.
It hit her on the cheek, supposedly. So Depp, of course.
Was it a flip phone or a smartphone?
I'm going to assume it was a smartphone because he's old, but he's cool.
Someone's got a crush on Johnny Depp.
Definitely don't. At all.
Well, you want to be friends with him.
I do?
You said he's cool.
I know.
So you're telling me if Johnny Depp knocked at our door and been like, hey, let's hang out tonight, I want to be friends, you would be like, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't freaking know him.
Well, I guess we'll find out how this court case goes if that might sway your decision.
I know he's cool. Apparently. I don't know him.
You don't know him, but he's cool.
Oh, what an idiot. Okay.
Him or you?
Me.
Okay.
So Depp, of course, denies this happened and says that Heard is just trying to make money from claiming abuse. So they're going back and forth for this divorce. They reach a $7 million settlement in August 2016. And this is after Heard withdrew her request, not only for the restraining order, but she wanted $50,000 a month in spousal support. What are you doing that you need $50,000 a month? Yes, excuse me, Judge, I need what most people make in a year for the month to live.
I don't know if that's a good impression of her or not.
It is not. It's a terrible impression.
So my problem with it is movie stars, actors, they already make a bunch of money. Why are they fighting about money? Who cares? Who cares?
I mean, what else are you
star in
a
film, make a couple $1 million. There you go. It's a lot easier than going through all this nonsense.
Well, remember that $7 million. We're going to talk about it again in a second. Because you're right. Who cares? So the pair, after this whole settlement that comes out, they release a joint statement that said, our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm.
So we are 17 minutes into this episode. I knew nothing about Amber Heard. I knew very little about Johnny Depp, and I already dislike both of them.
Well, when you put out a statement like that, you want someone to punch you in the face.
Because all they're doing is looking for attention.
It's so silly. So they also had a non-disparagement clause inserted into the settlement to prevent either party from saying anything negative about the other. Now, Heard, she receives her $7 million, and she claims that she donated it all to charity. The divorce was finalized in 2017, and then that was it. The two went their separate ways after learning that brief physical attraction doesn't sustain a relationship. Lesson learned. Moving on.
They should have learned that next time they're in a movie, they shouldn't try to quote unquote fall in love with their co-star.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
But I've got a word of advice for Amber if she's listening.
Yeah.
Take that money and don't donate it to charity. It's nice that you donated it to charity. Donate some other money to charity.
Remember,
Just invest that money. Invest the money.
She claims.
Then you never have to go after money again.
But she claims.
Turn that $7 million into multiple millions of dollars.
Who are you? What's his face? Are you channeling Gross there?
I'm Bill Gross. But if she did, she wouldn't have to worry about going after people for money. She wouldn't be such a gold digger.
Is she a gold digger? I don't know.
Obviously, she's going after Elon Musk, Depp.
Oh, you think she went after? I don't know anything about the relationship.
I don't either. But she's going after, she's with people with money. She's not coming after me.
What a good point. I did not think of that. You just proved it. You proved that she is.
Just like that.
Stinking gold digger. All right. Well, it would have been lovely if the two had done that. But that obviously did not happen. So in June of 2018, Depp ends up suing The Sun for defamation when they ran an article that said
the actual Sun? Like
The Sun.
The star?
The Sun, it was like giving him massive sunburns when he was trying to do his Pirates of the Caribbean because it was so mad. No, The Sun, the
first
newspaper.
I was thinking like their son, like he sued their son. Then I was thinking the actual Sun. And then my third choice was, oh yeah, there's a paper called The Sun.
There is a paper. That would be a good third choice that you came to after the other two very logical choices that you made. You know, The Sun is always suing people.
Just in case people want to get into my head and know where my thought processes go and how it works.
You got there.
The actual paper was the third option in my mind.
So, well, I guess I can't talk because I thought you said liquor instead of liquor. So what am I sitting here judging you for?
I feel like we both do that quite often.
Yes. All right. So they run this article that says he had abused Amber Heard. They also criticized his casting in the Fantastic Beasts film series, saying there was overwhelming evidence, quote unquote, showing he was abusing Heard. He lost that case, and afterwards he stepped down from his role in the movie.
Was it because of every scene that he put her in, he was getting her hurt on purpose in the scene?
No.
Putting her through physical abuse?
No, they just were doing what a lot of papers do, a lot of news media does, and they get people riled up before they learn all of the facts. That's what was happening, is pretty much, which is why Depp sued them.
And I am riled up.
Oh, riled up. I was so riled up. We're all riled up.
Really, the world is riled.
It's funny that you say that. We're going to talk about that too.
I feel like I was the only person on the planet that wasn't riled about this.
Maybe. So he lost that case, and afterwards he stepped down from his role in the movie. That same year, I told you that already, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that same year, Heard decided that she was going to write an op-ed for the Washington Post, where she spoke about the treatment of women in domestic abuse cases.
What does she think she is, Mark Twain?
Yes, she does. In it, she wrote, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of all our culture's wrath for women who speak out, unquote.
Remember the 80s band Full Force?
Full Force. Got the record, baby. Full Force.
It's a great album.
It was a great album. I read the article. It's not a bad article, but it's clear that she was talking about Depp, even though she didn't say his name. So I guess that whole thing that they put in, like, let's not talk about each other bad, that clause that they added goes right out the window in her head. Well, I didn't say his name.
Well, what people didn't realize, they put that out, but in very small, fine print, it said, in a few years, we will talk poorly about each other.
That's what you should have put.
It was there. No one saw it because it was so small.
It's so tiny. Even with a magnifying glass, you couldn't see it. It's ridiculous. So in 2019, Depp sues Heard for $50 million for defamation over the article.
Whoa. So it goes from $7 million to $50 million.
She won $7 million.
Right.
In the settlement.
So she sues him for $7 million. He sues her for $50 million.
There's a reason why, though.
Let me guess. It was going to cost him jobs.
It did cost him jobs.
Doubtful.
Well, it did. So in the suit, Depp says that Heard is not a victim of domestic abuse, She is a perpetrator and denied that he abused her. It claims that the allegations were part of an elaborate hoax to generate positive publicity for the actress since Aquaman was released just 3 days after her article was published. And another huge reason Depp sued was because Disney dropped him from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and he felt the reason was directly related to this article. That's a huge moneymaker for him.
Isn't he like the main character of those movies?
He is. Like, those movies would not be what they were without Depp. Nobody could play that role better than him. He is Jack Sparrow. Like,
have you seen me act?
Again, what a great point. Johnny Depp, move over. Disney, you don't need Johnny Depp. You have Andrew. Don't even worry about it, Disney. Again, I stand corrected. So Heard answered back by asking for the suit to be dismissed, by giving details of the alleged abuse that occurred during their marriage and referred to Depp as the monster, quote unquote, and saying that he wouldn't remember the abuse due to his excessive drinking and drug use. The details of the abuse are pretty scary. Like, what she claims happened is like ridiculous. So I'm going to talk about what she claims happened. All right.
Before we go on, whose side are you on at the end of this, at the end of the day?
We're going to talk about later. We're not going to talk about
Well,
during.
the reason I'm asking is because if I made a shirt with his face on it and put above it the monster, would you wear it?
I would, just because it would be hilarious.
But then you'd be supporting her, so that's why I'm asking.
I don't think I'd be supporting her with it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about what I think. All right, so in May 2014, Heard said that on a private flight, Depp had kicked her in the back, knocking her to the ground after drinking too much. He then passed out in the bathroom for the rest of the flight. He apologized later, and his assistant texted her saying he's a little lost boy and needs all the help he can get.
Wait, she was
quote,
sitting
unquote.
in front of him on a flight?
No.
Like in the seat in front of him? Or he walked up on the plane and kicked her in the back?
They're on a private flight.
Right.
So they were probably standing.
You only stand on private flights?
No, but I'm assuming they were standing, and maybe she went to walk by him. I don't even know. And he kicked her in the back and then went and locked himself in the bathroom. According to her, that's what happened. Nothing else. He just was standing there and he kicked her in the back, and then he went and locked himself in the bathroom.
I cannot picture someone who's been drinking and high on drugs randomly deciding to just kick somebody in the back. That is a lot of work.
Kick someone in the back. They're standing there minding their own business. I'm assuming she was also going la 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 because she was just minding her own business. All right.
A lot of holes in that accusation.
That's what it is. In March 2015, only a month after they got married, Depp went on a 3-day bender on ecstasy. They argued about this because he was supposed to be working on being sober. During the argument, Depp pushed, slapped, and shoved her to the ground before she could get away and lock herself in the bathroom or in the bedroom. He allegedly continued the abuse over the 3 days, throwing her through a ping pong table, choking her, and writing messages in blood and oil on the walls before being hospitalized.
Blood and oil?
Oh, we'll find out why.
What kind of oil? Motor oil?
No, cooking oil. Heard says she has scars to prove all of this abuse happened. Then, in December of 2015, Depp grabbed her by the hair and throat, slapped her in the face, and screamed, "I'll effing kill you." You hear me?
Wait. If I did something as ridiculous as write messages in the wall on blood and oil with blood and oil, wouldn't you take a picture of it?
Oh, she did.
She did.
She took lots of pictures and videos. We're gonna talk about it.
I gotta just stop interrupting.
We're gonna talk about it. He dragged her on a bed and began punching her head, breaking the bed frame in the process. The final straw was the incident we already talked about where Depp threw his phone at her like a baseball pitcher.
Wait,
in May 2016.
Wait. He punched her in the head and at the same time broke the bed frame, but not her head.
That's what she claims. He was punching her in the head.
If you punch someone in the head so hard that it breaks your bed frame, you're probably breaking their head too.
Andrew.
That person's probably going to be unconscious, if not dead.
I'm a little disturbed that you're finding so many holes in this abuse.
It's because I have common sense and I know how the laws of physics work.
Yes. And we're going to talk about all this.
Just getting clear.
I know, hear you. So after her allegations came out, Heard claims she had to change her number almost weekly because she was receiving so many death threats. People were claiming that she was the one who had abused Johnny, and she said that was simply not true. She said the only time she ever attacked Johnny was in self-defense.
Wait.
Yeah. Continue. Go on. What do you think?
So you're telling me that
yes,
every week she had to change her phone number.
Every week?
Every week.
Almost weekly.
So you're telling me there was a whole chain of people that had this text thread with each other, apart from Amber Heard.
This is what happened.
This is her new number.
Yeah.
Abuser.
Let's get her. I don't know how they got my number, but I had to change it every week. Death threats.
I just picture people, oh, here's her new number, and texting it out on the text thread. And then a week later, oh, here's her new one.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Ridiculous.
Well, that's what happened.
I see why you named the episode that title of Ridiculous.
Ridicullissniss. All right. So all this happened in 2019. So then in 2020, the Daily Mail released tapes of conversations between Heard and Depp that paint Heard in a terrible light. It really sounds like Heard was very antagonizing in the tapes. She admits several times that she hits Depp and throws pots and pans at him. She also says that he always leaves as soon as the fight starts.
Probably because he doesn't want to get hit with pots and pans. Why would you stay there?
We're going to talk about it. Ugh. But even though she's throwing pots and pans at him, he could stay and talk. Depp many times says he's not going to stay when things get physical. Heard does say in the recordings that Depp can't say he doesn't hit back. And he's like, yeah, to protect myself. It appears that Heard's way of thinking is she can pretty much do anything to Depp and he should just take it. Her whole tone and attitude towards him is not one of someone who is nervous he's going to start beating on her any second. So, this is what I'd like to do about this whole thing, because there's so much online about this relationship that you can see and you can hear for yourself. The only way I feel like I'm going to get an accurate, good reaction from you is for you to hear parts of this tape, because you really do have to hear her. Me telling you she sounds antagonizing is my opinion. I want your opinion of how she sounds. Mm-hmm. And there are some videos from the trial. And there's a video that he recorded, or that she recorded, of Depp that I want you to see, because in me watching these videos, watching the trial, seeing the tapes, they just have a very toxic relationship. It's crazy. I mean, Depp, when you're watching everything, he seems like, okay, I want to be in a loving relationship, but like her crazy is getting in the way. But again, this is my opinion.
I would say that if you're throwing pots and pans and cell phones at each other, it's pretty toxic.
It's pretty freaking toxic.
But has anybody asked?
What?
And maybe the prosecutor should have asked this.
Maybe they did.
Mr. Depp, were you in any way dressed up like a pirate from your Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and that's why she was throwing pots and pans at you, because she felt threatened that a pirate was coming after her?
No, I don't think anybody asked him that.
It's a possibility.
They had, though. I don't think that was what it was.
It's a possibility.
It is a possibility, but I don't feel like.
I like to picture it happening that way.
Yeah, I don't think it was, though.
But think about it. It'd be a lot better if it did.
It would be a lot better, but they did not.
In your mind.
I feel like my whole statement about like, I felt like her crazy was getting in the way, because at the time of this relationship, she's still like when they started their relationship, she was in her 20s. And I mean, no offense to the very mature 20-year-old people out there, because there are some people in their 20s. I work with some people in their 20s that are very, very mature for their age. They're very responsible. But that is not the case with a lot of people in their 20s.
The majority of them are idiots.
And he is much older than her.
And
but
he's still an idiot.
Yes, I feel like he still has his own demons. Like, and there is a video that I'm going to make you watch. And it's of him. He is super angry about, I don't even know what. Something happened. And he is smashing glasses. He's slamming cupboards. I mean, it's so aggressive and unnecessary. It's like a little kid throwing a temper tantrum. And in it, Heard is recording him. She like kind of hides the phone a little bit, but then he ends up seeing it and he grabs the phone from her. He's like, how long have you been recording? And this video, this all comes into play during the trial, which is why you have to see it. But before all of that, it got sent to TMZ.
Tums.
But when it got sent to them, they didn't get the full video. They got her edited version of the video. So obviously it makes her look like, when you see the whole video, it makes her look like she's trying to hide something. Why would you edit something that you are trying to prove a point on? You're not going to do that.
Can we harken back to something you said earlier?
What?
Remember how you said he's cool?
Yeah.
Is that what makes him cool, that he's smashing glasses and plates on the counter?
No.
Is that the key to your cool heart?
Yeah. I mean...
I'd love for you one day to just say, I'm cool. So apparently that's what I have to go out and do, is just head out to the kitchen and just start smashing glasses and plates all over the place. You're going to be like, wow, you are now cool.
He didn't smash plates. He smashed glasses.
Oh, so plates makes him uncool. Yeah. Glasses is
if
cool.
If he had done a plate, I would have been like, this guy is not cool. What's going on with him? But the glasses, wow, that guy's cool. I mean, Thor did it in the movie, so he wanted more. So he smashed the glass. Depp just wanted more. He wanted more wine. So I think what we need to do here is either I can tell you just a little bit more about everything that's going on and you can watch a video and I can get your reaction, or we can go ahead and have you watch this video of Depp smashing stuff because it's a short video. And then we can come right back on and you can talk about your opinion because it's a huge part of the trial.
I'd like to watch the video first.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pause and I'm going to have you watch this video.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing happened this morning. You know that?
Were you in here?
No.
So then nothing happened to you this morning?
Yeah, you're right. I just woke up and you were so sweet and nice. We were not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry.
Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
No, that's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. That's crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going? You got this going?
I just started it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really? Sneak that shit on me, motherfucker.
I didn't. You were smashing shit.
Oh, bye. For this,
That's your house
illegally recorded tape. Do we have a date or metadata or anything on that?
Why don't we, since you have some questions about it, why don't we watch it again?
Oh, I've
Play
seen
it
it.
again, please, Michelle. Okay, you know what, we don't have to do that.
No, that's good.
We don't have to do that. This is at your house in West Hollywood on Sweetser Avenue, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And that's you in the video, Mr. Depp, right?
That's correct, sir.
And you would agree that you were violent in that clip, correct?
Clearly, I was having a bad time. I don't know what it was with regard to completely at this point, since I don't know the date. But being illegally recorded by your chosen other is Well, it's quite fitting with the rest of the photographs and tape recordings she made. So I thought what was most interesting is that she tried to hide it from me, and then that she laughed and smiled at the end. I thought that was the most interesting part myself. But so yes,
You didn't react.
I did assault a couple of cabinets, but I did not touch Miss Heard.
And,
As you can see, I think, no.
And you may have been drunk in that video, correct?
There's a possibility of that, yes, sir.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
Yeah.
I poured myself a large glass of wine.
Right.
I thought it necessary.
Right. Right. Well, let's look at UK 101, please.
One
Yeah, this is day one.
day.
You see there at line 5. Do you have the page up?
I don't see 101 yet, sir. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Take your time.
I've got a bit of a bushel here. 101. Sorry.
It's in the volume for day 1, if that helps.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm looking through, but it's all it's a bit of a jumble. Oh, sorry. Here, page 101. Is that what you like?
Yes, sir.
Great.
And just since you seemed amused by the terminology, you were asked the question, you were drunk, I'm going to suggest. What do you say to that? Answer, I may have been.
Where are we, sir?
Line 5.
Thank you.
Question, you were drunk, I'm going to suggest. What do you say to that? Answer, I may have been, I do not recall. The chances are very good that I was if I was upset. Question, we saw you pour a sort of, answer, mega pint. Question, mega pint of red wine, which is not everybody's choice for breakfast, is it? Answer, no. Did I read that right?
You did.
And you were very, very upset in that video, correct?
I think that's pretty clear, yes.
And you would agree that your behavior in that clip could be intimidating to anyone present in that room, correct?
Objection calls for speculation. I'll sustain the objection.
You would agree that your behavior was intimidating, correct?
Objection calls for speculation. All right, I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Now, you're a lot bigger than Amber, correct? Physically?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay. Would you agree with me that the standards of a Southern gentleman were not in your mind in this particular moment, were they?
I don't know about anyone else, but I have had experiences in my life where one does stray from complete control over their emotions at times, and that is a very normal, primal thing to do. I did not try to intimidate Ms. Heard. If she was intimidated, why was she filming? If she was scared to death, why didn't she leave?
All right. So I just had you watch the video that is from the trial where the defense is questioning Depp on that video.
Yes, I believe that is what I just watched. Although one might say I perused with my eyes.
I was not expecting you to do a very spot on impression of Johnny Depp when he was on the stage or on the stand. That was very good. I was not expecting that.
You're welcome. How can you not do that after watching him? I wanted to go smash glasses after watching him talk. Ugh.
Okay. So besides your funny impression of him, what else? What other impressions of that video from the trial did you get?
Well, I wouldn't have watched it ever because I was bored out of my mind watching it. You can tell that they are both. Well, I only saw him talk, but you can tell he's trying to not incriminate himself like anybody would do in court, but at the same time make her look stupid.
Yes.
He sounds like he's drunk still from that mega pint of wine.
Mega pint.
First of all, well, probably like fourth of all at this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember the date that happened, and he would need to know the date to find out if he was drunk, because apparently he keeps a drunk diary of every morning that he drinks a lot of wine. So without the date, he's got no idea. You have to consult his journal. But he remembers her smiling in the video, even though you can't see her.
No, you can hear her laugh, and you can see her at the end.
I wasn't listening to that.
Oh, well. Okay. At the end, that's what I was talking about.
And this is just a minor point, but why does she dress the way that she does? Why does she look like she's in a 3-piece tuxedo without the bow tie?
Her whole outfits the entire time, everyone was making fun of.
And how in the world is anybody going to hire Johnny Depp to be in a movie after this when he can't even find page numbers? What if there's 101 pages in a script and he can't find page 101?
Well, it was all jumbled.
Don't stand up for Mr. Depp. He could not find page 101. I think he was stalling and didn't want to look it up.
I think that's exactly what he was
Second
doing.
of all,
I think he was just being
he wears sunglasses that morning in the house, and he puts them on in the court. What is his problem?
I think those are his readers.
Sunglass
cool.
readers?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Those are cool. So if I was walking around in a pair of those, I'm cool.
No, I'm saying that's his attempt of like, I need readers, but I'm freaking Johnny Depp, so I'm going to put these on my face and look cool.
That whole thing angered me that a human could be that stupid. That a human walks into anywhere and is going to act like that and think that they are the greatest person in the world.
My impression of watching that video of him with the cabinets, if he's up on stand, okay, so he did admit, obviously I'm upset. Yes, I wasn't having a good day, but I feel like he should say my behavior in that video is 100% unacceptable. And he
would never answer
said
the question. Yes.
Like you don't go around you're throwing a temper tantrum in that video. You're angry. Just say I was angry and I acted like a child and I shouldn't have. And if she was scared, I mean, he had a point. If she was scared, she wouldn't be taping. She would leave. You don't stay. I get, like, if you're really abused, like, you're trying to get the scoop or whatever. But you don't stay and record stuff like that when you're actually really scared of someone. That was a good point that he made. But at the same time, like,
coming from someone who can't find page 101 in a document, it's kind of balances out the good point that he made.
I feel like they should have had a little bit more organized.
That's what I would have said if I was. Wait, who was the prosecution and defense in this? Was she suing him or was he suing her?
He is suing her. Remember, $50 million.
They're all idiots. I don't care. So, if I was the defense attorney, I would have questioned him right back. I'm like, instead of making that point, I would have said, well, you can't even find page 101. Why would you? I would have called him out so much on that he can't even look up numbers.
But see, she's looking at stuff too when they're up there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you're in that situation, I don't think when you're in court, I don't think what happened is very rare. I think a lot of people when you're up there, I mean, the spotlight's on you in a awkward, stupid situation. So I don't feel like the lawyer probably.
Actor. I don't think he cares about spotlight.
No,
when you dress like that and talk like that, I don't think he cares about spotlight.
I don't think that part, but I think that for the lawyer's not going to think anything of it because I don't think that is very rare.
Yeah, but he called him out a few times on it. Like, didn't he say something like, "Are you having trouble?" Or
I don't think so.
I thought he had made some comment about how he wasn't finding it.
No, I think Depp was saying, "I'm not finding." Then he's like, "What page?" And he said what page it was. No, he asked him if he wanted to watch the video again. He was being all snarky about that.
You could definitely tell that he was trying to say everything that he could to make her in a bad light and was being a little bit petty about it.
Right. Now, this part that I'm about to tell you.
But I will say.
Yeah.
For throwing all this money around in lawsuits,
mm-hmm.
I would like to know how much money he spends on cabinets. Because he is just beating the crap out of those cabinets in his kitchen.
He was beating the crap out of his cabinet.
I mean, he must just have a cabinet guy on retainer that just comes over and redoes his cabinets.
I think that was a rented. Oh, no, that was his house. Yeah, that was a house.
They asked him if that was in his kitchen.
Yeah. Because there's a claim that I talk about later on. This is why I was getting them confused. So through this whole thing, this part, I had been paying attention a little bit, like here and there for this trial, but later on.
That's literally the first clip I've watched of the trial ever.
You're welcome. I had to show you that one first because it's where I got my title from, Mega Pint. But there's stories during it that I didn't even realize that. So Depp, he starts to say that he endured abuse from Heard. And he said in March 2015, the two got into an argument where Depp claims Heard threw a bottle of wine at him, and when it exploded, it severed the tip of his finger off. That's where all the blood came from. And when he ran out of blood,
So right now, he's only got 9 fingertips.
No, they found the fingertip. Somebody found the fingertip for him, brought it in. But no, there's pictures through the trial. They had these pictures of his finger and all this other stuff.
Did you hear my eyes roll?
I did. And then Depp also claimed he had videos and photos to prove that Heard was faking her claims of injuries. Depp's legal team also subpoenaed James Franco because he lived in the same apartment complex that the two lived in and was seen in an elevator canoodling with Heard while Depp was away. It is a weird video. It's just weird. And I'll have you watch it later. You don't have to watch it right now. But it's just weird. So basically they're claiming that she was not faithful. He claimed that she had like an affair twice on him while they were married during this whole time.
With someone that loves body pillows.
It's actually all I could think about when I was watching the video. It's like, is this his way of like getting people to not talk about the body pillow, or even though it's not even real? All right. So now we're going to also start talking about how this case seemed to make the whole internet petty. I mean, everybody
I'm on the internet and I wasn't petty about it.
You were not, but a lot of people were. There were so many videos making fun mostly of Amber Heard.
The first thing I made fun of is his stupid voice.
Yes. I'm not saying that he didn't have stuff to make fun of, but she made it so ridiculous. And when you watch the videos, I'm sorry, there's no way you're going to not agree. Maybe you won't.
Now he's going to sue her for more people making fun of her than him.
No, I don't. I think he was happy about it. I mean, I would be. But also, Depp's lawyer, well, all his lawyers are snarky. I think most lawyers are a little bit snarky. They have to be super petty, as you heard that guy. Like when he called it Mega Pint, he called it Mega Pint because Johnny Depp had called it Mega Pint. So he had that's why he was telling him, look at this document here. Oh, isn't that you saying that, Mega Pint? That's just lawyers. But his lawyer, Camille Vasquez, she was so snarky. It was I love her. She would not let anything get by her. Like if Heard said anything that was different from her prior testimony, because remember when he sued the Sun, she was subpoenaed for that.
The Sun called her as a star witness.
She had to go and she had to do all of this stuff for the Sun. And there's so much for that whole thing.
She had to put on a bikini. She had to lather up in suntan lotion.
No, not that Sun. She didn't have to do that for the Sun. I felt like, so Camille Vasquez was so snarky that I felt like she almost had to make Heard's lawyer be snarky too. Like she had to step up her snark, because listening to her in like the deposition and stuff like that, she was not as snarky. But then listening to her during this trial, I was like, oh, somebody had to step up their snarky to keep up with this other woman, because she is. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some videos of Heard where she's mixing up her facts this time, like versus the last time. She does the same thing that Depp did with that picture. They're showing her these pictures and they're trying to say, well, this was on this date and this on this date. So which one is it? It can't be both the things that you said. And she's like, well, I'm not sure when that picture was taken. I would need, is there metadata and all that other crap? So they both did it through the whole thing. I was rolling my eyes at both of them. Like, just give me a break.
Megadata?
Yeah, whatever.
Or did you mean metadata?
Metadata. Like a mega. Like Mega Mind.
Mega Man. Make a pint.
I love how I can mix up my words so much. That's great. To me, the trial makes Heard look really bad for two reasons.
So maybe it makes her look bad, but Johnny Depp just looks bad.
I just don't feel like you're a big fan of him. I feel like that's just how he is now. Like his demeanor, how he is, he's just, I mean, after you do a certain amount of drugs, I'm sorry, your brain's going to be a little bit fried and you're going to take a little long to answer some questions. Your brain cells are the ones that are left.
I cannot imagine working with him.
They need time to catch up.
I could not imagine working with him on a movie. It must be excruciatingly terrible.
Probably. Well, the things that make her look bad, it's two things. It's those tapes. I want you to listen to those tapes of that they're talking about with her and him, and if she was really scared of him, why is she acting like this in these tapes? And the other thing is so weird, the way she keeps looking at the jury during her testimony. It is so weird.
I think that's what people do, though. I mean,
no, and we remember him when he was doing his testimony. There's other people that do testimony. They turn and they'll have to explain something.
But
like
I think
a doctor.
It's more the people that are actually like either being sued or sued. I think they tend to do that more. Prime example was that kid that was on trial for shooting those people that crossed state lines. Kyle, whatever his last name is. He was sitting there with those fake tears the whole time, but the whole time when he was doing that, he was looking out of the side of his eye.
Yes, but it made him look bad. But
right, it makes a person look bad. But I think a lot of people do that.
Say it again. He was looking out the side of his eyes
to see if they're watching him.
Correct.
I think a lot of people that when they're on trial specifically for them, not just like witnesses, but the people that are actually part of the trial, like the main part, I think they do that to see how it's going with the jury.
I agree.
Good.
But I want you to watch her. So we're going to do another little pause.
Okay.
It's not going to be little, though, because you're going to have to listen to this tape, not the full tape, but the tape of her and him. And then you have to just watch a couple snippets of her while she is testifying.
Just so everyone knows, we've been recording this episode for 2 weeks now because I've watched so much video. It's been a long process.
I can't help it that this trial went on for 6 weeks.
There's
and there
6
was so
weeks
much.
Of this?
There was so many funny things that if I could go over, just funny, not petty, just funny, I would do it, but I can't.
If I was the judge, I would have ended this like after half day. I would have been like, you guys are idiots. Just go home.
The jokes that came out of that poor judge, like the faces, like there's this one of her face and she's just sitting there staring off into space like, why am I here? I am a judge, right? This is my life right now. It's pretty funny. All right, let's watch the video.
Okay.
Adam Waldman, Depp's lawyer, said afterwards, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as a sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Is that one of the statements that you allege are defamatory? It's defamatory?
That's correct.
Ms. Heard, you're not aware of any career opportunities that you lost as a result of Mr. Waldman's statements, are you?
Well, it's kind of hard to point to the jobs you're not offered, to the gigs you don't get.
You were not replaced in Aquaman 2, were you?
They released me from my contract, and I fought to stay in it, and they kept me in it. I just don't know how much I'm in, actually, of the final cut.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal actually extended your contract in April of 2020. Is that correct?
In part, they extended it and held me.
Ms. Heard, you tweeted at Adam Waldman, quote, yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion, but on every occasion you will still be short. Did I read that right?
Yes.
You're smiling as that audio recording is being played in your deposition, aren't you, Ms. Heard?
Not smiling because of the audio. I'm smiling because of what's happening around me.
You even roll your eyes at one point, don't you?
I was sitting opposite a whole table full of lawyers who were snickering, laughing, and rolling their eyes at me while I was talking.
Is there something amusing about kicking a door into your husband's head?
No, I was rolling my eyes and commenting on what I was experiencing at that time in recounting the story.
Is there something amusing to you about punching your husband in the jaw?
That is not what I was smiling about, and no, I do not think it's amusing.
You knew the media had been alerted that you were filing for divorce, right, Ms. Heard?
No, I just knew that it was impossible to do that privately, so you could just hope it was a matter of time.
You knew they were going to be there, didn't you?
No, I did not. I mean, I assume since it's a public building that there's that likelihood, or not likelihood, but possibility. But I was shocked.
If we could please play and display to the jury Plaintiff Exhibit 1280.
Is responsible.
Ms. Heard, did you send a text message to Jerry Judge on May 24, 2016, telling Jerry Judge, quote, I'm desperately trying to reach Johnny. It's extremely important. Please tell him.
I remember sending the text message that is in front of me right now to Jerry. I remember sending this because I wanted to tell Johnny, or have him told by Jerry or someone who knew him or was close to him. Basically, I didn't want him to find out online that I had or was about to file, or I had already filed for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally. So I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. When I say reach, I'm specifically saying I would like him to know information coming from me or coming from Jerry, from me, so that he finds out about the divorce filing or my intention to do so from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted.
You slipped up there, didn't you, Ms. Heard? You let it slip out that TMZ had been alerted to your filing of the domestic violence restraining order, didn't you?
I disagree. That's not what I'm talking about.
TMZ is the same outlet that you released the video of Mr. Depp attacking the kitchen cabinets the day before this deposition was taken, wasn't it?
I didn't do that. I don't
TMZ
know how
owns
to do that.
the copyright to that video now, doesn't it?
I have no idea what TMZ owns.
Did they pay you for that?
I never got paid for it because I had nothing to do with that.
So TMZ was just lucky in getting the inside scoop to your divorce from Mr. Depp, huh?
I have no idea. That's not my area of expertise. I wouldn't even know how to do that. And also, what does that get me? If I wanted to leak things about Johnny, I could have done that in a much more successful way, in a bigger way, for years.
Not when you were extorting him for $7 million.
I got a fraction of what I was entitled to in the state of California, by the way. Right. What extortion?
All right, so you got to watch a video of, you got to see Camille cross-examining Amber Heard. And I felt like in that video, you could see what I was talking about a little bit, where how she turns and talks to the jury. It's so weird.
I still say that's pretty normal. I think people talk to the jury because the jury's deciding if you're guilty or not. So you're talking to them.
It was weird. I'm sorry. I think it's weird.
I would do the same thing.
Oh, I would not. It's weird. I mean, I guess I would I would be turning to everyone.
I don't think I would do it for every question like she did, but for major ones where I want them to hear what I'm saying and see what I'm saying, I would look at them.
I guess. I didn't like it. But what was your impression of the snarkiness between the two of them? I don't know if you've noticed, but during the beginning, anytime you were saying something, I was going, correct. Because that's what they do. Isn't that correct, Miss Heard? No, that's incorrect.
They were very much like other court cases where a lawyer, I mean, I think that's what lawyers are trained to do.
Oh, yeah.
Is be snarky and petty with people to try to trip them up.
Yes.
And get them flustered, which was obviously this lady's whole point was to get her flustered.
Mm-hmm.
That was their strategy. He's got way too many lawyers. I didn't see how many lawyers she had, but he's got about 7 or 8 people sitting on his side that he's paying.
They both have teams. They have teams of lawyers.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
Twitter came into play on it.
Where she Oh, yeah, her little Twitter comment.
So Twitter got someone in trouble again.
She looked so proud of herself after that comment that they read.
Yeah, the judge the lawyer said, "Well, didn't you do this on Twitter?" Yeah.
And
there was a lot of pettiness from the lawyer. There was a lot of pettiness from her. There was a lot of snark in the lawyer's voice. There was a lot of snark in her voice.
Back and forth.
Yeah, it seemed like a court case. There was no love lost between both of them.
There definitely was not. So what were your impressions? Because you watched more than just one video of her, of Amber Heard up on stage. What are your impressions of her while she was on stage? On the stand.
It's tough to tell. She definitely, just like Johnny Depp was trying to be careful what she said. I think she slipped up a couple of times on things that she said because the lawyer was doing a better job pressing her. But I only watched the one clip of him, so who knows? If she was the same, court cases are petty. You're never going to win a court case if you're not petty with someone, and that's exactly what that judge was doing. And sometimes to win the lawyer, and sometimes to win the case yourself, you have to be petty right back to him. Mm-hmm. And I think she was. But just the things they're arguing about, the whole knife on the bed.
Yes, that was another thing. But I think it's funny.
How are you going to prove that she smashed the bed with a knife?
Well, I know, but your point, though, your point was if you're beating someone that badly that you're breaking the bed, how does the bed get damaged and they don't that bad where people aren't going to be like she would.
But that was a little pocket knife. I mean, the damage on the bed was more than a pocket knife.
It was more than a pocket knife, but her face when she saw it was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
She did not hide her face. Amber Heard did not hide her face very well. Just the whole thing of just the videos that we watched. I just was sitting there like, this is the most petty crap I've ever heard. Like, it's
like obviously two people that dislike each other are not compatible, never going to get along. They should have just walked away from this years ago and realized they were just on a movie together and they weren't really in love and they never should have gotten in a relationship or married.
Yes. And then the tapes that you listen to about where she's telling him, like he's saying, like I was talking about before, like with the pots and pans, like he's like, yeah, I'm going to leave because you're throwing pots and pans at me. And then when she keeps telling him, like he goes, you punched me in the face. And she's like, no, you weren't punched. I slapped you. I don't know exactly what my hand position was, but you were slapped. You weren't punched, Johnny.
That is, if you looked up petty 101 in the dictionary, that whole back and forth is petty 101.
That is. She is splicing the hair pretty much on, did I get punched or did I get slapped?
You got hit. Who cares?
She hit him. But in the tape,
I can promise both of them are hitting each other almost daily.
Thank you. I don't know about almost daily, but it was, to me, this was
almost.
You did. To me, this is definitely a back and forth, a toxic relationship. And I feel like when you watch her testimony, when you watch her, you can't help but be like, and you hear all of these things back and forth between two of them. I'm sorry, but the abuse went both ways. You both were abusing each other.
You called me a name, I called you a name. You throw a pot at me, I threw a pan at you. You punched me in the face, I slapped you in the mouth. You throw a glass at me, I throw a coffee mug at you. It's all it is. They're both doing dumb things.
It's ridiculous. And so I think her trying to paint herself as this, I'm a victim.
That was a poor choice of defense.
Well, she did it to herself, though, when she wrote that whole piece on, to me, that's offensive to women who are actually abused. Like, if you have been through that situation where it is a real domestic abuse situation, I would be watching that like, shut up.
I mean, it's no different than any other situation where someone lies about something that happened to them, and it's a slap in the face no matter what it is.
It's not right for either of them to be hitting each other. It's not right for either one, man or woman. Don't hit each other, because people are like, well, you should never hit a woman. Okay, so if she's throwing pots and pans and he wants to stop it and he goes to physically restrain her, he shouldn't do that. Like, in my opinion, if you throw pots and pans at somebody, they're probably going to either run away from you or they're going to try to stop you if you're not going to leave them alone. Stop throwing pots and pans.
I'd probably turn it into a game. I tried to see how many I could duck. 0 for 10.
Yeah, until you get hit in the head with one, then the game's not as fun.
The game is afoot.
The game is afoot. So there's just a bunch of other stuff that in it, she says, oh, he trashed this trailer, but then the manager comes and testifies and says, no, it was a broken light fixture. And Depp was only charged $67. She kept saying there was this rumor where Kate Moss was, when they were dating, Kate Moss and Depp. Do you remember when they dated? Way back in the 90s.
Yeah, that's something I remember.
Okay.
That's something I know a lot about.
Well, during it, while they were dating, they went on this vacation together. There was a rainstorm. She went to go down the steps and she fell down the steps and she really hurt her back. And he helped her up and all this other stuff. Well, there was this rumor at the time
that Johnny Depp started the rainstorm to get her to fall.
Yes. How did you know?
I told you I knew all about it.
He was out doing a rain dance. They got pictures of him in this whole getup. No, that he pushed her down the stairs. Well, she came on and testified because Heard was trying to use that against him over a whole nother petty situation that they were talking about, saying that was a thing. Like, that's all she was thinking about, how he pushed Kate Moss down the stairs. And Kate Moss came on and was like, no, he did not push me down the stairs, but in a British accent because she's from Britain. So it's so silly. Like, everything she tried to claim, they basically had people come in. She kept saying, oh, yeah, of course you were able to come and get these people to come and testify. That's his power. That's his power. And the lawyer kept saying his power. So he's going to get people to come and testify under, there could be perjury involved and they could go to jail, but he has this power over people. I mean, just her whole argument with it, it didn't sound great. She didn't set it up very well at all. Like, she claimed, oh, my role, like you heard in that one video, my role in Aquaman was, it was really pared down because of this whole thing. Well, they even had a producer come on from that saying, no, even before all of this happened, we were thinking about recasting her because there was absolutely no chemistry between her and Mimosa.
Mm-hmm.
Mimosa. What's his name? I always want to call him Mimosa.
Momoa.
I'm
Jason
giving
Mimosa.
away. I know. It's because I love mimosas. I should be like Johnny Depp and make a mega pint of mimosas.
That's the official drink of Let's Talk Petty, Mega Mimosas.
Mega mimosa.
And all it is a blended up glass of Jason Momoa.
So hilarious. Oh, and they even had a guy from TMZ come, and he basically was like, yes, we got tipped off to come, and there's this whole thing with this bruise on her face. We knew which side to photograph when she was leaving. I mean, just everything she did, it made her look just super bad. Like, just right down to where she's sitting up there and she's like, I wasn't sitting here in court laughing and talking. Oh, I was taking it so seriously. You're on video the whole time. Don't make claims that can easily be disputed. So of course there's all these videos out there now of her saying that, and then it's like, oh, yesterday, and then there's videos of her the day before laughing, smiling, making little comments to her lawyer.
I feel like this is very one-sided right now. I feel like you are going hard against Amber Heard.
I am going hard against Amber Heard, not because I don't think that Johnny Depp he is just as ridiculous in this whole thing. They are, like I said, they are both at fault.
But your ratio of going at her versus him is like 95-5.
It is. That is because she set herself up. That's what my point is. She, not necessarily this case. There was other things, like there's this doctor on there that they had, Dr. David Spiegel, who was insane. His behavior is so hilarious. I was dying laughing. This is another video that you're gonna have to watch later because it has nothing to do with this. It was just odd behavior and it was hilarious. This whole thing is, I'm like, is this real or is this supposed to be a comedy? This is these people's lives, isn't it? This is insane. But I feel like she is the one who really made the internet go insane because of her bad acting on stage, her terrible arguments, and like the stuff that she was doing. It's hard to not make fun of her. I want to make fun of him, but he did not give as much ammo as she did.
We can both agree that they're just both idiots.
The whole thing is so stupid.
No, say it. They're both
idiots. I said that.
Okay.
They are both.
You just sounded like Amber Heard, where I told you to say it, and you're like, you said something else that was similar.
I'm being her. Now I want to be like her. Incorrect. Wait, I have to turn and look at an imaginary jury. Every time I answer you, I got to turn. That's incorrect. This is what I meant to say. And he's taking my words. He's taking my words out of context. Is my faces that I'm making at you and my eyes blinking enough at you?
This is turning really catty against another woman. Wow.
It has nothing to do. If a man was up there acting
Cat
like that,
fight.
I would making fun of them just as much.
Mm-hmm.
It is very silly.
Another blonde-haired woman. Here you going after her.
Yeah, I know.
Because you're jealous that she's with Johnny Depp and you're not.
Crap. All the truth is coming out. So this finally came to an end where the jury found her at fault. The judgment was in Johnny Depp's favor for $10 million. Now, she had countersued over another whole defamation thing. And the judgment for the counterclaim, she did get $2 million for that. But in the end, she still ends up owing him $8 million.
So net, after all of this stupid chaos and two idiots babbling back and forth for years, is $1 million after you take that $7 million that he paid her away. $1 million.
Yes.
The whole thing's over $1 million.
Yes. Well, he did get rehired by Disney.
I don't care.
After
it's $1
all
million.
of this stuff.
$1 million.
It really is.
So stupid. At least we had
The
something to
whole
talk
thing-
about for an hour, but it's stupid.
The whole thing was so petty. It was so back and forth. It was, if the trial wasn't as amusing with all of these insane things going on, and the whole thing with her dog stepping on a bee and that face that she made and the hilarious videos that came out of that, I don't think that people would care as much. It just, everything all put together was so stupid.
My goal after all this is now to dig through every second of video, and I'm going to make Johnny Depp look just as bad as Amber Heard, because apparently it's very one-sided.
The internet was very one-sided against.
Well, I'm about to change that. That is
Amber
my
Heard.
new life goal for the next year of my life.
Wait, you should save it for the Petty Roundtable.
Nope. I've got something for the Petty Roundtable. I'm brimming full of ideas.
Let's go then.
All right.
All right. Well, we're here.
Correct.
After my...
I've been hanging on to that one.
Correct. After my very long-winded, judgy.
It was very judgy.
Very judgy, but judgy for a reason.
It was very one-sided.
It was very
one-sided.
one-sided.
Very judgy of the one side. And
was.
not the other side.
I was.
You're being way too lenient on him.
No, I told you. I agree. I think that they were both absolutely ridiculous.
But we were only watching clips of her be ridiculous and not him.
That's only because of her own doing. I told you. She made it so easy.
Well, I'm going, like I've said, I'm going for the next year doing nothing but bringing him down.
Well, there is an article that you will probably like because it basically says that he O.J. Simpsoned the whole thing because he got away with it, which I don't think is true.
Well, I mean, if he hit her and he got away with it, then he hit her and he got away with it.
Okay, but what about the fact that she hit him?
She didn't get away with it.
Well, I don't think that he got away with it either. I think that's the point of the whole thing. It was a mutual abuse. She can't sit there and act like she's a victim when she wasn't.
Do you think anyone's ever hit each other at the same time? Like a husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, they both go to hit each other at the same time. That would be mutual abuse.
And they knocked each other out at the same
they
time.
Both like
knocked
open
each
palm,
other
just
out
slap
cold.
each other on the opposite side of the face. That would be mutual abuse.
So
if you hit each other at different times, it's not mutual. But if you do it at the same time, it's
it
mutual.
has to be at the same time.
Same time, same
in
second.
your opinion.
Yes.
I
Otherwise,
think so.
it's not mutual. And you can be sued for different things. If it's at the same time, no lawsuit. If it's at different times, absolutely.
No.
Judgy.
Judgy! Do you hear what you're saying?
I do.
It's funny, but no. Very funny, though.
So what is your reasoning for being so one-sided?
My reasoning is that I
There has to be one.
Yes, obviously there is one.
I can hear it in your voice.
There's not. I can't say as much, but from experience of dealing with a similar situation,
The
with
lawsuit
somebody.
we had where I punched you in the face.
No, not with us.
And I countersued and said that she had slapped me in the face.
You were not punched, Andrew. You
There
were
all
not
these
punched.
There were all these memes of me online.
And everybody reads my tweets. No. I feel like there are some, not even just women, just people in particular who are very good at gaslighting, antagonizing, and eliciting emotions and reactions out of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you listen to the tapes of them, when you see their whole demeanor, how they are as people in videos that are out there, I feel like she is the reason that it all started. I don't think that if he wasn't put in a situation to get violent with her, he was not going to get violent. And on top of that, if she had not read or wrote that op-ed and made herself a victim when she was not a victim,
that was a poor choice.
It was a very poor choice. I don't think that I don't think it would not have gone anywhere if she had just let things lie and not make herself out to be a victim. Because like I said, when we were talking before, I feel like it's very insulted to men and to women who have been in that situation, because men can be victims of domestic abuse, because domestic abuse is not just physical. It is mental and it is emotional. And when you tie all of those things in together, it's insulting that she is going to take that away from true victims. And in a way, he was a victim reacting. He did not react the right way, because man or woman, if someone hits you, don't hit back. It does not make the situation right. So he escalated the crazy, but again, it would have ended with their $7 million settlement. And no one would have known either way which one was hitting who and who was doing what. She brought it out and she made herself look bad. And I think I'm not the only one who could see, you're full of crap.
What if this whole thing between them was just a long con for a movie they have coming out together?
Oh my God. I was thinking, what if this was, because there were sometimes, okay, so I do genuinely also feel bad for Amber Heard. I will throw that out there. I do feel bad for her because I think she's a mom now. She's older, she's 36 now. I feel like she's wisened up a little bit, because there were times where I feel like some of her emotion was so fake and so orchestrated for the jury. But I do think that there were times that there's video of her while she's listening to him talking, and she did genuinely look sad. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it was sad over like stuff that she did. I think she was sad because I think at one point they did love each other. And I think she realized she ruined it. Like, she is the reason that this whole thing was ruined. And as an older person looking back at your younger self, she probably wanted to like kind of beat herself up because she ruined something that could have been good. So I do feel genuinely bad for her, but don't stick to your guns the way that she did. And she just made herself look so bad. But I'm going to throw that out.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no relationship is ever going to be good with Johnny Depp. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. After watching him slam the cabinets and throw whatever hissy fit he was throwing.
Just listening to him talk, looking at his demeanor, looking at his stupid mustache and his stupid hair, nothing good will ever come out of a relationship with him.
Well, he has that hair for a reason.
Which is what?
Because of the movie.
What movie?
The movies that he was in. He still is
So he has to always keep a ponytail?
No, but he keeps his longer hair for it. I mean, I'm sure that they could have put wigs on him and stuff, but he does keep his longer hair for it.
It's a greasy ponytail with a terrible pedophile mustache. I'm sorry.
Well, goatee. And he has it again. I mean, maybe he didn't need to keep it for court, because how long does it take? I mean, you grow a freaking goatee in 2 days, but not everybody is you. So maybe he has a hard time and so he kept it. I don't know.
Suck on that, Johnny Depp.
Now I feel like you're just being contrary to be contrary, like me.
No, I just, after watching that video of him speak, I dislike him greatly. I never had an opinion of him otherwise, but after watching that, if I never looked at him or heard of him again, I wouldn't care.
So I should have predicted or written it down on a piece of paper, because I was thinking, I already know that he is going to be like, ugh, when he sees Johnny Depp, because I was very much like, okay.
When the first thing that I do is mock you after I watch something like that, you're not a good person.
Oh. I knew that you were going to be like, ugh, but the internet was very much hashtag Johnny Depp.
But people love Johnny Depp because of the stupid movies that he's in, and he's a popular actor. That's the only reason.
Well, that's why she kept saying that's his power.
So he does have a power.
Not to make people come on
to make people like him,
perjure themselves over him.
I think because of his popularity, he definitely got a lot of the benefit of the doubt.
He did. For
not saying that she didn't do anything wrong.
I think that if she had better proof, I think that if it was true abuse, I don't think that he would have won. I think people would have seen it. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was true abuse. I think they could see that you were just as much of an abuser as he was. So yeah, both are petty. That's why they gave her that $2 million, I think, as well. I think that they could see, hey, this kind of goes both ways. Like,
but again, it was all net $1 million.
So dumb. Again, would have ended if she never wrote that op-ed. If she had stuck to what she should have in that settlement. So
anyway, back to the petty round table.
Yeah.
Because we could talk about how stupid Johnny Depp is for all night long.
Okay, now you're being very one-sided. I think you have a crush on Amber Heard. Are you having an affair with her?
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to pretend that I'm the judge in this case. After 1 hour, I'm going to end the case. I'm going to be like, whoa, stop right there.
Yeah.
Both of you are sentenced to 10 years in-house, never allowed to leave your house. Nobody needs to hear from you.
Wow.
That's how much I hate this whole thing, this whole case. Waste of time, waste of money, waste of spending money on teams of lawyers. Be like, you guys are idiots. Go in your house for 10 years and then come back out when you've thought about what you did. And it will take them 10 years. And Johnny Depp still won't understand what he did because he's stupid. And Amber Heard will just dodge bees while she's in her house for 10 years.
She'll make sure her dog doesn't step on bees.
But I will have planted a beehive in her house, so she has to dodge them for 10 years.
My God. That's a good punishment.
But
oh, is his punishment he doesn't have any cabinet doors to slam?
That's pretty good. And he only has pints of wine, not mega pints.
No, not mega pints, and all his glasses are plastic, so you can throw them all day long. They're not going to break.
And then he's going to have to take his cabinet guy off retainer.
They're not just plastic. They're made out of like rubber, and it bounces back and hits him in the head every
That's
time.
That's going to teach him the lesson to not throw glasses.
Yes. Which he obviously needs, because what are you doing, you weirdo?
But aside from that, this whole court case is going to spawn a new revolution in cases that are just dumb, pathetic waste of time.
I hope part of it is you can't look at the jury.
Nope.
Okay.
Nobody's going to look at a jury because from now on, for dumb, petty cases like this, we're not going to waste the court's time. Okay. We're not going to waste money on it. It is going to be a 100% Twitter court.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
It will be nothing but lawyers tweeting at the person that they're examining. The person is going to respond back on Twitter. We know how people can be on Twitter. They might be a little bit more controlled in the courtroom and maybe say some things that they would never say on Twitter.
Then as soon as they get on Twitter, they're like, I lost my mind. Ah!
This court case has now spawned the first ever Twitter court. And court cases for issues like this, people that are just full of themselves, will 100% be on Twitter going forward. For everyone to follow if they want to. You can respond back to their responses, have conversations, troll them, do whatever you want. but it will be 100% on Twitter. And the judge will make a decision on Twitter. That is what's going to happen from this case. So it's not necessarily a punishment for them. I've already come up with their punishment, but this was too big to not come up with something world-changing. Like, people are going to remember 2022 as the year Twitter court started.
Oh my God. They could make Elon Musk and the whole lawsuit that's going on now from Twitter play out on Twitter. You have to buy Twitter. Oh my God, Elon Musk. Could you imagine that? That would be a gold mine. You have come up.
They would have so many people signing up for Twitter.
God. That is genius.
He's going to take this idea from me, buy Twitter, and turn it into Twitter court.
Twitter court.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Your punishments are always spot on.
Well, this
much
wasn't,
like your Johnny Depp.
The punishment was okay.
Not punishment,
but
your
this
idea,
new idea,
I guess. Your new idea for how to take care of these ridiculously petty trials.
Let the petty play out on Twitter where it belongs.
I love it.
Thank you.
Like I always do.
I do too.
Your Johnny Depp impression, I don't know. I might just all of a sudden come up to you and be like, hey, how you going? How you doing, Johnny Depp? Just to hear you answer.
Always keep a pair of sunglasses on.
Okay, well, that was great.
So this was episode 24 of our first season. We have 2 more episodes left of our first season. I have one for next week, and then episode 26, which will end our first season, is going to be a fun recap.
Of
the whole first season.
Which
Highlights, lowlights, judgy episodes that Kate was on.
That would be all of them.
Maybe a couple updates on things we've heard.
Yes, the update part would be great.
It will be a fun episode. Might be an hour, might be 2 hours, could be 5, who knows?
Could be 25.
No.
Oh.
Or it could be a 26-hour episode to commemorate episode 26 of the first season.
Oh my God. But when our episode ends, we have exciting stuff, so we'll have to talk about that.
Yes, we have plans going forward for season 2. We actually have plans for when we're not actively recording our season, some fun things that we'll put out.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
But we do have a nice surprise that I think we're 100% on for season 2.
Yes.
And we'll let you know what that's going to be.
Yes, we will.
If you've ever wanted to see any of Kate's faces
didn't know what
that she makes when she's judging people,
I do not make any faces.
You might be happy.
My facial expressions are, I'm not a very animated person.
I will say during this episode, if anyone could have seen the disgust on your face when you were talking about Amber Heard and the anger in your just your facial tone.
I'm not an animated person. I don't know what you're talking about.
You drip with animation.
I don't think so.
That's our episode. Go to letstalkpetty.com. You can find all the links to our social media.
You can buy our stuff.
You can
buy our stuff.
Listen to all of our old episodes. You can send episodes to people to listen to.
You can buy our stuff.
Kate really wants you to do something. I don't know what it is. I can't hear her.
I want you to buy our stuff.
Oh, well, Kate, welcome back. Yes, definitely rate us. Whatever else you want to do on there, I don't care. Just don't hack the site.
Now you've just invited hackers.
True.
Great. Now we're going to get hacked.
At least we'll know someone's been on there. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Please be sure and give our show a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And be sure to follow and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.